Hey gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I wanted to share some fragrances I have recently added to my collection. I am so excited to share them with you. So if you're interested to see what's new over here, then please keep watching. Hey friend, welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and jump right in, but before we do, thank you to those of you who are new here. Thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. On this channel, I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle in my monthly vlogs. So if any of those things pique your interest, then I would love to have you here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. The first fragrance that's new to my collection is Huda Beauty's newest Easy Bake Eau de Parfum. I have just recently done a video all about this fragrance, so if you're interested, I will link it here so that you can watch it. But this fragrance is something that I didn't think I was going to love as much as I do, but I absolutely love this fragrance. Now, does this smell like the original powder? Quite honestly, I have never owned the loose powder. I own the Easy Bake pressed powder, so I wouldn't be able to speak to how close this is to their loose powder that was scented. However, this is a gorgeous springtime fragrance. I love this fragrance. What I love about this fragrance the most is how it dries down. This fragrance dries down to the most delicious smelling, creamy, floral fragrance that I have smelled thus far. Although this one opens up with white florals, the white florals calm down very quickly, and then you start getting all of those beautiful sweet notes, and this is just a very beautiful sweet floral fragrance. I feel like this fragrance is quite different than any other floral fragrance I have, and I don't have a huge collection, but I do have quite a bit of floral fragrances in my perfume collection. I love a good floral, especially a white floral, and this fragrance is very different because it's the sweetest, creamiest, softest white floral fragrance that I own. This does give me a butteriness that you would get with Orris. It has a beautiful coconut that performs very similar to another fragrance that I love, which is Queening by Mind Games. So this fragrance, the dry down of this fragrance, specifically the coconut in this fragrance, kind of performs like the Orris and the coconut in Queening by Mind Games. And I love that. So much so that I have purchased a backup bottle. That is how much I love this fragrance. It is amazing. This is Huda Beauty's Easy Bake Eau de Parfum. Another new fragrance to my collection is an Arabian scent, and this house is new to me as well as this scent, and this is Ajmal's Aurum Summer. So Ajmal's Aurum Summer has top notes of red fruits and apple. There is pear, bergamot, and mandarin orange at the top of this fragrance. So this fragrance is super duper juicy. There are florals at the mid as well, such as osmanthus, rose, peony, and some other florals. And then at the base you have sandalwood, musk, moss, vanilla, and cedar. So this fragrance is supposed to have a very creamy, slightly musky, and slightly earthy base. So I am still getting to know this fragrance, you all. I'm not sure how I feel about this yet. This is definitely not something that I consider a love at first sniff. It's something that I'm still getting to know because it's quite interesting. So this fragrance is very fruity, very juicy, very fruity, but it's almost as if those fruits are soaked in some kind of wine or fermented solution. So there is this fermented aspect to this, and I've heard people describe this fragrance as smelling like a sangria, and I would totally agree with that because it smells like these are fruits soaked in wine. So for me, I could see myself wearing something like this during a summer evening, maybe going out to dinner, going to some kind of event that is outdoors, but this is not a fragrance that I would wear every day or randomly. This is a special occasion type of scent because it's quite interesting, very different, and I'm still getting to know this one, and I'm still trying to decide, is this for me? So I'll be letting this sit for a little bit longer and just seeing if this is something that works for my collection. I do also get the florals in here, and this is sweet, but I more so get that fermented fruit, that wine-soaked fruit nuance from this fragrance. So yeah, if this is not for me, if this does not work out, one of the things I wanted to start doing is community tab giveaways. What I'll be doing is giving away fragrances that I feel I'm no longer reaching reaching for that are nearly full, if not completely full. I will be doing regular giveaways on my community tab. So if this one does not work out for me, you'll probably see this in my community tab. So stay tuned for that. But this is Autumn Summer by Ajmal. And look at this beautiful bottle, y'all. Like, this is gorgeous. This bottle describes the scent. It looks like it's a sunset, and I feel like that's exactly what the fragrance would be perfect for. So as the sun sets and it gets darker, this is the type of fragrance that you would wear. This next fragrance is one that I've had my eye on for the longest, but it was sold out. And I'm so grateful that this fragrance was actually sent to me. So this is not one I purchased with my own money. This is one that was sent to me. And I'm so excited about it because I missed the train when this was first released and I've not been able to get my hands on it. So when I tell you this was a blessing, it truly was. And this is another Arabian scent. This is Paris Corner's Kissa Pink. So Kissa Pink is another one that I'm going to have to let sit for a little bit. I'll put the notes on the screen, but just know that I can't quite make out too many of the notes from top to middle to base. And because I can't quite make out some of those notes, that tells me I need to let this fragrance sit, which is unusual for Paris Corner. So I am hoping that this gets even better with time, because to my nose right now, it's a very likable apple, coconut, slightly lactonic and super sugary type of scent. And that's pretty much what I'm getting as of right now. My nose isn't picking up too much else. Oh, but it's so good. And it's been sitting for maybe about a week now, and it's already so much better. It smells so yummy. So I've heard that this was a dupe for one of the Yara fragrances, but I've never been interested in any of the Yaras because I kind of judged by the packaging that they would smell a little cheap. And since starting my Arabian fragrance journey, I've been careful not to just buy any and everything and only buy scents that I feel are going to smell expensive. And so that's why I avoided the Yaras, but I heard that this was supposed to smell like a better version, and I quite enjoyed this so far. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit and come back to this in like a month or so and see what I get. But y'all, this bottle, this packaging rivals any high-end luxury or niche fragrance that I currently own. Like, this packaging is giving luxurious. Look at the detail. Look at the ornateness of the plaque and the details and the pop of pink and the lettering on the plaque. Oh, this is such a gorgeous bottle, and it's heavy, y'all. This is a substantial bottle. So yes, just beautiful. And I'll be sure to update you all on how Kissa Pink by Paris Corner is going. The next fragrance I picked up during the Sephora sale, and I picked up a travel size because I have a few fragrances with a very similar note structure. So I was afraid this fragrance might be redundant, but I was so intrigued because it is a Black owned brand and I've yet to own a fragrance from this brand. And let me tell you, this will be my first full size bottle from this brand. And this is Brown Girl Jane's Carnival. This is such a beautiful scent, y'all. And the travel size is so luxurious. This is one of the prettiest travel sizes I've ever had. It's giving luxe in my opinion, and I really appreciate the thought put into this gorgeous packaging. This is a very creative mango fragrance. What I love about this fragrance is that it is very fruity. It's also slightly fluffy. It's creamy, but it's also spicy. There's a pimento note in here. I feel like that pepper note in this fragrance is what makes this fragrance extremely unique. The longer this wears, the creamier and softer it gets. But then you also have this hint of spice, which to me makes this very sexy and keeps it from being your typical tropical fragrance. This is a very beautiful fragrance. This is going to be my first full-size bottle from this brand. I'm going to use up my travel size, and probably in like another month or two, I'm gonna pick this up, and this will be one of my summer scents because it is absolutely fabulous. This is an amazing fragrance. It's mango and tropical done in a very unique and bold way. This fragrance is giving sweet and approachable yet bold, and I love it. This is so good. Oh my goodness, this is so good. This is Brown Girl Jane's Carnival. So I saved one of the best new fragrances to my collection for last. This is a fragrance that I was not sure was worth it, but I ended up picking it up because it is absolutely worth it. This is my first Ker-leen fragrance, and this is their newest Sunkissed Goddess. I thought this fragrance was going to smell like your typical sunscreen-like fragrance. I was actually at Sephora looking for some of my other wish list items, and I decided to sniff this one. I sprayed it on my arm and the tester strip. And when I left the store, I could not stop smelling my arm. This fragrance was absolutely intoxicating. Okay, intoxicating. This fragrance eclipsed any of my other wishlist items, so much so that I ended up not purchasing several of the other perfumes that were on my wish list so that I could get this one. This is not something that I would recommend running out to go and get. This isn't a groundbreaking fragrance. It's not anything to rush out and go get. However, for me, this is the first Ker-leen fragrance that I've actually been drawn to. This is the first one that's appealed to me. I've tried some of the other scents. I've tried Love Don't Be Shy, I've tried Princess, and I've tried Rolling in Love, which I thought I was gonna love Rolling in Love, but I didn't quite enjoy that fragrance. This one is the first one that appealed to me, and I decided, you know what, let me go ahead and make this my first Ker-leen fragrance because it was just so intoxicating. I just could not get enough of this fragrance. So let me take it out of the packaging, but this is the packaging, y'all. Very simple packaging. This is only a 50 ml. So this fragrance house is super, super pricey. And I'm really happy I was able to get this on sale. This is the bottle. I do plan on doing a dedicated review for this fragrance. So in this video, I'm not going to go too much into detail about the notes. I do want to get to know this a little bit more so that my review can be even more informative and helpful. However, this fragrance has coconut, tiare, and ylang ylang as some of the main notes. I will say this, if you're just looking at the notes on Sephora or even Ker-leen's website, you will think that this is your basic sunscreen type of fragrance, and for the price, definitely not worth it. And while I still think this is extremely pricey for what you get, this is so much more than your typical sunscreen-like fragrance. Fragrantica has some additional notes listed, and they have Gaiac wood and labdanum listed as some of the base notes. And because a lot of fragrance houses do not post all of their notes, and the Fragrantica site owners typically try to deduce what the additional notes are, I feel like those notes really makes sense as to why this smelled so incredible. This fragrance has a bright opening, but this fragrance transitions into a creamy and dense scent. I love that they have tiare and ylang ylang, so this is different from other sunscreen-like fragrances because this is not a white floral forward fragrance. Instead, this has the ylang, which is a yellow tropical floral, and it has tiare, which is also a white floral, but a tropical white floral. So the florals in here are not your typical jasmine or tuberose. Instead, these florals are strictly tropical florals, and this is creamy because of the coconut. It does have a sunscreen nuance, but it's not a cheap sunscreen-like fragrance. The base of this with that labdanum and that Gaiac wood really describe what I'm getting because this gets really rich and sweet and warm on the dry down. So I will get more into all of my thoughts on this fragrance in my review video, but just know that this is absolutely gorgeous. But oh my goodness. But y'all, this is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. This is one that I am so looking forward to enjoying. As a matter of fact, this is going to be my scent of the day. So let's just put that on. Oh my goodness. This is gorgeous, y'all. Absolutely gorgeous, and one that I'm super excited to have as my very first Ker-leen fragrance. If you are still here, thank you so much for watching all the way until the end of the video. I appreciate your time. I'm so grateful that you chose to spend this time in your day with me. And before we part ways today, I just want you to know that I see you and I'm rooting for you. Thank you so much for being here, and in doing so, rooting for me. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.